Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Today we are going to start a new chapter named as discrete Fourier transform. Already you did the discrete time Fourier transform defined as d t f t, discrete time Fourier transform. The discrete time Fourier transform of a sequence, all of you know, is given as xn, that is represented as x e to the power j omega x এর কি বলছো? Okay. The DTFT of a sequence xn is given by n equal to minus infinity infinity xn e to the power minus j omega n, that you did in the signal and system classes. And if you calculate inverse DTFT, means if you have a sequence x e to the power j omega and you are trying to calculate xn, then you know the formula 1 by 2 pi integration minus pi to pi x e to the power j omega e to the power j omega n d omega. These are the two formula to calculate the frequency response of a sequence, and from that frequency response again to calculate the times response of the sequence. In the last class, that is in Z transform, I have already told you why do we need to calculate the frequency response of the sequence. The important is that whenever you are going to design a filter, first you need to convert the sequence in frequency domain, because in time domain, suppose x1n and x2n, two sequence are there, you want to combine these two sequence in time domain, you cannot simply add or multiply, you need to do the convolution process. But if you represent that time domain sequence into frequency domain sequence, then simply if you multiply these two sequence, it will give you the same result. Okay, and that it will be more clear when I will give you the example. But I want to say you that why do we need the frequency domain representation? Because the calculation of a signal related to frequency is much more easier to the signal in a time domain. So that is the reason always we need to convert the sequence in frequency domain, then do your needful operation, and again convert back that frequency domain signal into the time domain. So you will get your result. So that is the overall process. Always you need to keep in mind. We did the Z transform. In Z transform also we have converted in Z. Z is a R e to the power j omega. So omega is frequency domain. That means we are converting xn into frequency domain. In that case also, in DTFT, if you have seen, you can see that the sequence that we are considering, the sequence range is from minus infinity to plus infinity. Means it's a anti-causal sequence. Anti-causal sequence means if the sequence if the sequence value for less than 0, if you have, then anti-causal. If you have value for greater than equal to 0, then causal. Then that sequence you better say combination of causal and anti-causal, it's a non-causal. So for a non-causal sequence, you need to do the Fourier transform. But problem is that whenever you are doing the Fourier transform or any digital transformation, you are using your computer or any digital processor. Now matter is that the computer or digital processor are all bounded. Bounded means it can process a specific range. Means whenever you are doing some operation, you need to mention the length. Suppose with respect to t or with respect to n, you have to mention that value of n is suppose 1000.
স্যার
Yes.
স্যার বলছি মাম্পি জয়েন হতে চাইছে, আপনি মনে হয় জয়েন করেননি।
কেউ নেই তো।
তাহলে মনে হয় ওটা ওই অটোমেটিক্যালি ইয়ে হয়ে গেছে। আমি আরেকবার তাহলে ওকে বলছি।
বলবে। So actually what I'm trying to say here, the computer or digital processor that you are using is a bounded signal. Bounded means whatever the range you are trying to process, that range you need to mention. That may be 1000, that may be 2000, that may be 5000, that may be 100, that may be 5, whatever. You have to mention that range. You cannot consider an infinite range for a computer, because computer does not understand the infinite range. If you consider infinite range, computer continuously run it. All of you know that. In your computer science, I think C or C++ classes, if the loop becomes infinite, you can see that it is continuously running in process. So you cannot mention a range infinite in a digital system. So what you need to do, that equation that you have, x e to the power j omega is equal to minus infinity to infinity xn e to the power minus j omega n that sequence you need to mention in a finite range, but you have to keep in mind that result must be the same. Okay, so that technique is known as discrete Fourier transform, where that infinite range will be represented in a finite domain. So you had x e to the power j omega equal to n equal to minus infinity to infinity x n e to the power minus j omega n. Okay. First of all, whenever we will represent that system in a processor, you need to represent that system as a causal. Okay. You cannot operate a non-causal system or anti-causal system in a digital processor. You need to represent the system as a causal, means only from 0 to some range. So for that case, whatever the system you have, value you have, you will have with un. Okay. Now, if you want to represent that sequence in a finite range, what you need to do? First of all, you need to bound that frequency. How? That I am showing you. Suppose you are considering a periodic signal that is repeating after a period of 2 pi. And it's discrete, keep in mind. So suppose n number of sample you have of that periodic signal that is repeating after 2 pi, means from 0 to 2 pi you have n number of samples, and whatever the range of value you will get exactly same from that 2 pi to 4 pi. You will have n number of samples, you will have the same value range related to value of 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So what you can do, you can represent that one period by a circle, because all of you know that one circle defines a range of 2 pi. Means if you start from here and after a complete cycle, if you come here, that means you are traveling a range of 2 pi. And obviously, each and every range of 2 pi is splitted by n number of sample as it is splitted here. Okay. So if we consider this is the 0th sample, this is the first sample, second sample, and continuously going on, this is n minus 1 number of samples, so total n number of sample. Then if this is your value omega, that is the angular frequency, that omega you are getting for this range from 0 to 1 for the single sample. And what is the size of this single sample? Can you tell me? If you have n number of samples, you have 2 pi range, so each sample range will be 2 pi by n.
Yes, sir.
So 0 to 1, that distance will be 2 pi by n. So for a single value of omega, you can write 2 pi by n. Okay. If we consider that range, then what you can write? Value of omega? 2 pi by n into 2. This is 2 pi by n. This is 2 pi by n. So 2 pi by n plus 2 pi by n. That will be 4 pi by n. So that means 2 pi by n into 2. And if we keep on increase one sample, you can see that value will increase as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. So if you have to calculate the value for kth sample, you don't know the range of k. Here suppose total number of samples is 10. So 0 to n minus 1 is 10. Kth sample, it is told you 15. So what you will do? You will start from here 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This will be your kth sample. Okay. So for that kth sample, if you need to calculate the omega, what will be the value of omega? For that kth sample, 2 pi by n into, if this is k equal to 50, so 15, or if it is defined only by k, then k. Clear it or not? না একবার বলবো। Is that line clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So keep in mind, in that equation where you are using that omega for a periodic signal defined as 2 pi by n, where n defines the total number of sample within that period, and that omega defines, this is your frequency, angular frequency. 2 pi by this is your angular frequency, or you can say this one. So 2 pi by that range, that is n, defines your angular frequency omega, that omega. Now matter is that you are not going to calculate omega for a single range. You are going to calculate for a range that you don't know. If that range is k, means you are trying to calculate omega for 15 sample. Then k equal to 15 you will consider. Then omega value will be 2 pi by n into 15, because for second sample range is 2 pi by n plus 2 pi by n, or 2 pi by n into 2. For third sample, 2 pi by n into 3. So you are trying to calculate the 15th sample, then 2 pi by n by k. So here that omega k, that is your continuous, but that omega k you are representing in a discrete, because that n is discrete, that k is also discrete. So you are representing that continuous sequence into discrete. You can represent the value k, you can represent the value n. So overall, simply in that expression, you represent omega by 2 pi by n into k, then the sequence, that will be discretized sequence, but the result will be the same. So overall, if you consider that, then you can write, and keep in mind, whenever we are doing the discretized, we will not write e to the power minus omega. Instead of that, simply we will write k, means x k, and that xk will give you summation n equal to what? Only causal. So 0 to n minus 1, where n total number of sample defines as n. Your input xn, you don't know the sample range, whatever the range it is, that range will be operated within that n number of samples. If that range is 1000, that range is 5000, whatever the range, it will be operated within that 0 to n minus 1, means capital N number of samples. So xn e to the power minus j omega k, that omega will be defined as 2 pi by n into k, and you have the n, that n. So that is the equation of a discrete Fourier transform, where you can see this is completely discretized. Xn input, that is discrete, n discrete, k discrete, n discrete, and here k will also be varied from 0 to n minus 1, because the range, maximum range, you have considered 0 to n minus 1 in number of samples. So k should also be within that sample. Okay, so then you will get the exact same result but in discrete domain. So that is the formula to calculate the DFT of a sequence, and keep in mind, whenever you are using that formula, you have to keep in mind that signal is bounded, signal is periodic, and obviously discrete. Okay, bounded, periodic, discrete. If that is mentioned or that is maintained, then you can use DFT, discrete Fourier transform, instead of Z transform. And simply, if you can want to calculate the inverse DFT, then Xn will be provided as that formula. By that formula, where n varies from 0 to, small n varies from 0 to capital N minus 1. Okay, if it is clear to all of you, then suppose one problem is given like that: Xn equal to 1 2 1 2. That is the problem. You have to calculate xk, means you have to calculate the DFT of that sequence Xn. So here you have 4 number of samples, 1 2 3 4. So capital N is 4 as 4 number of samples. Okay, so from the formula you know, xk equal to summation n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 xn e to the power minus j 2 pi by n kn. Okay, so as n equal to 4, so k will also vary for a range 4 number of samples, means from 0 to 3. Okay, so k will also vary from 0 to 3. So here simply we will consider k equal to 0 to k equal to 3. So simply k equal to 0, you will get your x0. What will be the value? Simply replace it. N equal to 0 to n minus 1 xn. Here if you replace k equal to 0, so it will be e to the power 0 1. Okay, so that value will be, for n equal to 0, small x0 plus x1 plus x2 plus x3. How many samples you will have? 3, because capital N equal to 4. So 4 minus 1, that will be 3. So varying from 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Value of x0. All of you know, if the arrow sign is not provided, then the starting point or the first point defines the 0th point. That is the 0th point. So from that point, you will start as that is x0, that is x1, that is x2, that is x3. So if you replace all the values 1, 2, 1, 2, so it will be 6. That is your x0. Similarly, when you are trying to calculate x1, you have to replace k equal to 1. So in that expression, you have to replace k equal to 1. So n equal to 0 to n minus 1, that will remain as it is initially. Xn e to the power minus j 2 pi by, what is the value of capital N?
4.
4. So 2 pi by 4. Value of k is 1 and value of n varies from 0 to n minus 1 or 0 to 3. You can directly write here 3 also. Okay, so that term comes as pi by 2 into n. E to the power minus j pi by 2 into n. So it will be summation n equal to 0 to 3 x n e to the power minus j pi by 2 n. Now simply replace the value of n as 0, 1, 2, 3. So first value will be x0 e to the power minus j pi by 2 into 0 plus next will be x1 e to the power minus j pi by 2 into 1, x2 e to the power minus j pi by 2 into 2, like that. So x0 will, first value will come x0 into e to the power 0. Second value will come x1 into e to the power minus j e to the power minus j pi by 2 into 1 or e to the power minus j pi by 2. Second means for n equal to 2, x2 into e to the power minus j pi by 2 into 2, 2 will be cancelled out. So e to the power minus j into pi. Plus for n equal to 3, x3 e to the power minus j pi by 2 into 3. So e to the power minus j pi by 2 into 3. That will be your value. So replace all the values minus j pi by 2, minus j pi by 2 into 3, you will get your result. I think you know how to calculate that. E to the power minus j pi by 2 cos pi by 2 minus j sin pi by 2. This will be cos pi minus j sin pi, and this will be cos 3 pi by 2 minus j sin 3 pi by 2. So simply if we replace all those values, you will get some values related to j or real, whatever. Replace here and simply replace x0, x1, x2, x3 values from the input, x0, x1, x2, x3. Then you will get a result. Capital X1 as 1 minus 2j minus 1 plus 2j from here, and overall you will get 0 for x1. Is that clear how to calculate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in that way you have to calculate x2 and x3. So x0, x1, x2, x3 if you get, that is the value of xk. So your xk will be simply x0, x1, x2, x3, and that will be your result, or the DFT of xn, DFT of that xn. So initially you have to solve that in that way. If xk is given, you need to calculate xn in the same way. You know the formula of xn. K is of length 4, then n will also be of length 4. So small n will vary from 0 to 3. Okay, so use the formula to calculate xn. That formula, in that formula, small n value is 4, k varies from 0 to 3, and replace all the values, and for n equal to 0 to n equal to 3, calculate. So you will get your result. That is your home task. Another home task consider as number of samples given as 4, and xn is given as cos n pi by 4. Cos n pi by 4 is given, and it is told just consider 4 number of samples and calculate the DFT, calculate the xk. Okay, in the same way. So that these two is your home task. Okay. Next, all we want to solve any problem in a little bit easier way. Why? Because if you can write a code, as you are from the computer science, I'm mentioning you the code. If you can write a code that can solve a process or a problem in a very easy way, then what are the advantages you will get? The processor that you are using will be faster, means the result that you will get in a faster way. The result you will get in an accurate way. The result will be less complicated. So that are the advantages you will get if you can represent the solution process in a easier way. So you can do it here if you can represent all the values that you are getting, x1, x0, x2, if you can represent all the values in a matrix format, like that. You have a এখন কে জয়েন করছে রে, এখন জয়েন করলে হবে না। Suppose you have a matrix, virtual matrix you can say. If you know the matrix, then whatever the sample range, suppose xn given some values for n equal to 50. It is very easy to calculate for n equal to 4. But if n equal to 50, then x0 to x49, it will be very complicated for you to solve. But if one matrix is mentioned here, then if you have 50 number of samples here, you can easily calculate the result. You can easily calculate the result from that 50 number of samples simply by multiplying this and this. this and this. Simple. It will be very easy. For you means for the computer. So what you need to do, you need to represent a matrix format for your discrete Fourier transform. And to do that, we mention it as a linear transformation. In that linear transformation, what we are doing, we have the formula for DFT. In that formula, this is basically responsible for your angular frequency. All of you know that. 2 pi by n. That is responsible for your angular frequency. And that is named as Tweedle factor. Keep in mind, in some places you will see that calculate the Tweedle factor, then you have to calculate e to the power minus j 2 pi by n simply. Okay, and sometimes that value e to the power minus j 2 pi by n defines as Wn. E to the power minus j 2 pi by n defines as Wn. So simply, if we represent that equation by Wn, also in some books, we can see the formula is like that. N equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 xn e to the power minus j 2 pi by n as Wn to the power kn. In some books, you can see the formula has written like that. Why I am writing W? Because that angular frequency will be responsible for the matrix we are going to create. And for each and every places e to the power minus j 2 pi by n, we are not going to write that part. In spite of that, simply we are going to write Wn. Okay. So that is defined as the Tweedle factor. So your formula, again I am writing that is your formula. Now in that formula, if you calculate x0, what you will get? Summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 xn, that is k equal to 0. If we replace k equal to 0, w to the power 0 to the power 0. And if you replace n equal to 0 to n minus 1, the values that you will get as like that, x0 w 0 plus x1 wn 0 plus x2 wn 0 plus up to n minus 1. So x n minus 1 wn 0. For each and every values of x, the coefficient is wn 0 for k equal to 0. Similarly, for k equal to 1, the formula becomes n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 xn. K equal to 1 means wn to the power n, wn to the power small n for k equal to 1. Again, if you replace the value of small n from 0 to n minus 1, x0 wn small n equal to 0, so 0 plus x1 wn small n equal to 1, 1 plus x2 wn small n equal to then next 2, 2. So like that, x n minus 1 wn small n value is n minus 1. That is your x1. Why I am writing this? Because from that expression you will have your matrix. So initially you need to solve this. It is already solved, so you don't need to solve. So just if you can remember the matrix, you can do it. So I am showing you how the matrix is coming. x2 summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 xn wn k equal to 2, so 2n. So coefficients will be like that. x0 coefficient will be wn 0 plus x1 coefficient will be wn 2 plus x2 coefficient will be wn 4 plus xn minus 1 coefficient will be wn 2 into n minus 1. Similarly, if we consider 3, coefficient will be what? Can you tell me? If we consider x3, what will be the coefficient of xn's?
So x n minus n.
X. What will be the values of those coefficients for n equal to 3? For k equal to 3.
সে 3 6 9 করে এরকম এগিয়ে যাবে
0, 3, 6, 9, like that. So coefficient will be wn0, wn3, wn6, wn9, like that, and last value will be wn3 into n minus 1. So in that way, if you want to calculate the last value x n minus 1,
so wn0 wn n minus 1 তারপর w into 2 n minus 1
exactly, wn into 2 n minus 1. These are the coefficient. I am not writing the x0 x1 values. The last value will be wn n minus 1 into n minus 1. Okay, so from that equations, if you are trying to write the matrix form, means if you can put all the x0 x1 x2 x3 to xn in a matrix, so it will be the left sided matrix. What will be the right sided matrix? Considering the coefficients, one matrix will be, and that will be multiplied by x0 x1 x2 x3, like that. So simply, what are the coefficients? x0 x1 x2, like that, xn minus 1. This is your input in a matrix, this is your output in a matrix format. So from here, that will be your matrix multiplied by input x0 x1 x2 up to xn minus 1, and that is k. So what will be the coefficient? See, capital X0 will be that row multiplied by this means x0 into first value plus x1 into second value plus x2 into third value, like that. So if we consider that, then x0 into first value is this, x0 x1 into second value is this, x1 x2 into third value is this. So if we consider the coefficients and if we write down the matrix, then you can write down the all the expressions just I have written in the last page. So for the first line, wn0, 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 wn0 coefficients for up to n-1 sample. So here, what we can write? wn0, 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 like that. wn0 for for 0 to n-1 means for n number of samples. So it will be size of n cross n. So now we can check it. Capital X0 will be small x0 into wn0 plus x1 into wn0 plus x2 into wn0 plus up to xn-1 into wn0. The first equation you are getting. Similarly, for second equation, write down only the coefficients for the second row, wn0, wn1, wn2 up to wn of n-1. You can check it. If you trying to calculate x1, this into x0 plus this into x1, if you do that, the same result as that equation you will get. You can check it. Similarly for 2, 0, 2, 4, in that way the power changing. So for 2 it will be wn0, wn2, wn4, last value will be wn 2 to the power n-2 into n-1. For 3 we are getting wn0, wn3, wn6, wn3 n-1. Similarly for last value, wn0, wn n-1. What you have got? wn0, wn n-1, wn2 n-1, wn of n-1 into n-1, wn2 n-1, wn n-1 into n-1. So that is your matrix. Wn, first row is to the power 0, second row changing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Third row changing 0, 2, 4, means for 2, 0, 2, 4, jump is like that. For 3, the jump is 0, 3, 6, 9, like that. For 5, jump is 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, like that. For that, jump is 0, n-1 to n-1, 3 n-1 up to n-1 into n-1, like that. So it is very easy to keep in mind that matrix, and if you can write that matrix as a code, whatever the DFT operations you have, you can easily solve it. Whatever the size of the DFT sequence, you can solve it. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, using that matrix, consider the same problem. Xn is given as 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So, obviously here capital N is equal to 4. So, capital K will also be 4, means it will vary from 0 to 3. So if we write the matrix, values of k will be 0 to 3. So x0, x1, x2, x3. 4 number of samples you have. So the matrix will also be of 4 number of samples. So for k equal to 0, w, what is n0? N value is 4. So w40, w40. How many samples you will have? N equal to 4. So 4 samples we will have, means 4 columns you will have. Similarly, k equal to 4. So 4 rows you will have. So matrix size will be 4 cross 4. For 0, w to the power 0. For 1, w4 to the power 0, w4 to the power 1, w4 to the power 2, w4 to the power 3. For 2, w4 to the power 0, w4 to the power 2, w4 to the power 4, and w4 to the power 6. And 3, w4 to the power 6, and w4 to the power 9. So this is your matrix for this problem, and this is your input: x0, x1, x2, x3. So that is your matrix equation, and if you write that in your code, that code will solve that DFT of that input. So what will be your result? Capital X0 will be small x0 into this plus small x1 into this, small x2 into this, small x3 into this. So simply capital X0 will be small x0 into w40 plus small x1 into w40 plus small x2 into w40 plus small x3 into w40. All the w40s to the power 0 means 1. So simply x0, x1, x2, x3. x0, x1, x2, x3. So x0, x1, x2, x3. That is your result. Simply 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 6. Okay. Similarly, calculate x1. What is the value of x1? This into this, that into that, that into that, and that into that. So value x1 you can write as x0 w4 0 plus x1 w4 1 plus x2 w4 2 plus x3 w4 3. So what is the value of w4? E to the power minus j 2 pi by n is defined as wn. So w4 is e to the power minus j 2 pi by 4. So w4 is e to the power minus j 2 pi by 4 or pi by 2 or cos pi by 2 minus j sin pi by 2. What will be the value? That is 0, that is 1. So minus j. Value of w4 is minus j. So x0, that value will be x0 1 2 1 2. So x0 is 1, multiplied by w4 to the power 0, so minus j to the power 0, so 0, plus x1 value is 2, w4 to the power 1 means minus j to the power 1, plus w x2 value is 1, w4 to the power 2, so minus j to the power 2, plus x3 value is 2, w4 is minus j to the power 3, so minus j to the power 1 is minus j to the power 2 is, what is the value of that?
-1.
Minus 1, because the square value is minus 1. Okay, and minus of square is plus, so minus j whole to the power 2, overall you will give a minus 1, so this will be minus 1, this will be plus 1, cancel out, this is minus 2j, this is plus 2j, if you check it, this will be plus 2j, so this will also be cancelled out, so overall you will get 0. Okay, so the result that you will get are the same. Okay, so in spite of writing the equations, if you can simply write that code, that single code can solve all the problem related to discrete Fourier transform. Clear it or not? কি বোঝা গেছে না অসুবিধা আছে?
আছে।
ওকে, সো আপ টু দ্যাট যদি তোর কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করতে পারিস রিলেটেড টু ডিএফটি ডিসক্রিট ফোরিয়ার ট্রান্সফর্ম। in today's class আমরা ডিএফটি সেরকম কিছুই করিনি, simply ডিএফটি from continuous domain to discrete domain আমরা ফর্মুলাটাকে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করেছি, that formula named as discrete Fourier transform. So basically whatever the operation of DTFT is, that is a discrete time Fourier transform, the same operation is happening to discrete Fourier transform but in sample domain, and the sample domain is needed due to the processor you are using is a DSP processor.
স্যার আমাদের মিড সেম কতক্ষণই হবে?
মিড সেম জেড ট্রান্সফর্ম অবধি হবে।
আচ্ছা
স্যার বলছি যে কাল আপনি 10টায় কোয়েশ্চেন পেপার দেবেন আর আমরা সাবমিট করব কটায়?
কালকে আমি কোশ্চেন পেপার দেব 10:10
আচ্ছা,
ঠিক আছে?
হুম,
স্টার্ট হবে 10টার সময়,
আচ্ছা,
টাইম পাবি 11টা, 1 ঘন্টা,
হুম,
সাবমিট করতে হবে 11:15 মধ্যে।
স্যার 11:30 করুন না।
কেন 15 মিনিট সাবমিট করতে টাইম লাগে?
স্ক্যান ফ্যান করতে হবে স্যার।
হ্যাঁ স্যার 11:30 দিন
স্ক্যান করতে হয়, এতে মোবাইল অনেক সময় স্লো হয়ে গেলে আর মুশকিল হয়ে যায়, অনেক সময় নেট স্লো হয়ে গেলে।
ঠিক আছে 11:30, ঠিক আছে। 9:50 আমি কোশ্চেন দেবো, কোশ্চেনের মধ্যে মেইল আইডি থাকবে, সেই মেইল আইডিতে সাবমিট করতে হবে, জানিস তো তোর প্রসিডিওর, তো সেই মেইল আইডিতে সাবমিট করবি উইদিন 11:30। 11:30 পর যদি কেউ সাবমিট করে আমি কিন্তু উইদাউট প্রপার রিজন আমি কিন্তু অ্যাকসেপ্ট করব না। সাবমিট না করার প্রপার রিজন দেখাতে হবে যে এই কারণে আমি সাবমিট করতে পারিনি, দেন অ্যাকসেপ্ট করব, আদারওয়াইজ কিন্তু আমি 11:30 পর সাবমিশন অ্যাকসেপ্ট করব না, ঠিক আছে?
ওকে স্যার।
ওকে, সো কালকে 9:50 মধ্যে আমি কোশ্চেন তোদের কাকে দেবো? তোর তো কোনো গ্রুপে আমি নেই, তাহলে আমি শেয়ার
সিআরকে দিয়ে দিই।
ফরওয়ার্ড করে দিবি, ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, ঠিক আছে।
ওকে, সো আজকের ক্লাস রিলেটেড কোনো যদি কোশ্চেন থাকে তাহলে জিজ্ঞাসা করতে পারিস। ওকে, মনে হচ্ছে কোনো কোশ্চেন নেই। ঠিক আছে তাহলে, আই এম এন্ডিং দ্য ক্লাস। থ্যাংক ইউ অল।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
রোহিত, সব রেকর্ড করেছিস তো?
হ্যাঁ ভাই করেছি।
ঠিক আছে, সব পারবি তো আজকে ঠিকঠাক? কি পড়েছিস?
হ্যাঁ ভাই দুদিক করে দেখলাম। হ্যাঁ ওর
তাহলে কিচ্ছু পারবো না।
এই ওয়ার্কার পুরো কমপ্লিট, এটা ওয়ার্কার বলছে পারবো না। ধরে
দু
গেলাম।
সপ্তাহ আগে আমার কাছে ভীমরায়ের বইটি নিয়েছে, এই 2 সপ্তাহে পুরো পড়ে ফেলেছে বইটা।
আরে 2 সপ্তাহ আগে না, ও ইউটিউব থেকে পুরো কমপ্লিট।
স্যার পোর্শন কিছু হয়নি, ও অন্য অন্য টাইপের প্রিপারেশন। তো কি বড় রে, পড়ে শেষ হচ্ছে না।
আরে নেট থেকে সার্চ করবি বরং ভালো, নেটে বরং
হ্যাঁ, concept
ছোট
clear
ছোট
হবে
পাবি। আমি দেখছিলাম নেটেই বরং সুবিধা হবে, পয়েন্ট করে করে দেয়া আছে আর অনেক সুবিধা করে এই লেখা আছে। আর এতে তো পুরো ইতিহাসের মতো গল্প লেখা আছে।
শেষ হবে না এখান থেকে পড়লে।
টাইমে জমা দিতে পারবো কিনা সেটাই সন্দেহ।
যা হয়